Hello and welcome to another episode of This Podcast Fits Your Macros. It is me, Coach CaiLEAN, the Macro Queen, and across the way, I do have Coach Ryan, the Gains Master Milton. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Well, you know, it's another day, another Tuesday. It is Tuesday. It's already the end of January, too. I'm looking at the date here.
Dude,
Where did
right?
that go? Where did
it
that go?
It also seemed really long as well.
Did it?
I don't know. I feel like we're halfway through February in my head.
Really?
It was really funny, actually. Last night, we went out to dinner. We got done with our 21-day detox Sunday. And so as a family, we went out to dinner yesterday. And on the way to the gym this morning, I was telling Brad, I'm like, okay, like we should just not eat at another restaurant till like the end, till next month, I think is what I said. And he's like, oh, okay, I can take that deal. And I was like, because I was literally thinking it was like February 14th or something. And I was like, oh, fuck, like the month is over in 2 days. That was really dumb. But yeah, that's where I'm at mentally.
Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like I feel like it was just October. So we're in different realms right now with how we're thinking about time. But
well, that's just our personalities. You know me, I'm thinking 3 months ahead, 24/7.
Yeah, and I just don't even know what day it is most of the time. I'm just living. But yeah, wait, before we get too much, because it's only 1 minute in right now, so we can actually get the title in here beforehand. Yes. What are we going to talk about today, CaiLEAN?
We are going to talk about how to avoid the plague while lifting these next couple of weeks, because I know we've talked about this before. Literally every single day I am getting messages from my athletes. Oh, I'm sick. And I'm telling them, like, yo, take it easy. This has been freaking knocking the hell out of people out. And then they try to come back and hit it full force, and then it hits them again. So
yeah,
this is how to try to avoid that plague that's going around, which I don't know what's going around in your area, but I got a very wonderful message from the school nurse email saying that at your child's school, they have active cases of flu A, flu B, and norovirus. So I'm like, wow, that's quite an assortment of yummy diseases. No, just kidding. Viruses. But yeah, so shit's going around, whether it's any of those. It's knocking people out. And we're going to give you 5 tips to do your best to avoid getting it so that you don't have to take. I had one client who's solidly out for a month. So, and we don't want that because that's going to, affect our goals, push things off. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go pretty in depth with that. And this will be relevant for pretty much forever, right? Like these tips, I think, cover, even if it's not the plague, just how to avoid getting sick in the gym. But first, we got to go with is it worth the macros? And I hope you're ready.
I have
you
some
got one for us
ASMR today for you because I have the box here. Ooh, listen to that. Ooh, yummy. I wish you could smell it. Okay, so I teased it on my Instagram last night. If you're not following me, I'm going to start teasing what I'm trying out. Today I actually saw this a couple weeks ago, and I was on the detox. So I was like, I'm not even bringing this into my house right now. But, the last shopping trip before it ended, it's called Trix Loaded. Now, they had a couple of different variations of the cereals that are quote unquote loaded. I got Trix because out of all of them, Trix are my favorite. They had like Cinnamon Toast Crunch loaded, and I forget what the third one was, but they had 3 different types of loaded. I don't think we're going to have video, so I will describe this to you all. They are the Trix colors, but they are squares, and you can see a white quote unquote cream, and it says with vanilla cream filling. So macros, 1 cup is 42 grams. My gentle reminder, if you've ever measured out cereal, if you've not measured out cereal, make sure to measure it out because it's a lot fucking smaller of a serving size than you think it is. True. Total fat is 6 grams, but I just realized there was an asterisk. Okay, that's the amount in the cereal, which 6 grams for cereal is very high for fats. Usually a typical cereal is like 1 to 2 grams at the most. Sometimes when you get into the peanut butter cereals, obviously they get a lot higher in the fats, but that shocked me as far as what the fats were. Total carbohydrates, 32, and it has 2 grams of protein. So I tried this last night. It's not worth the macros at all. It's not disgusting, but it is definitely not cream. If we have video, I'll break it open on the TikTok so you can see. It's not really cream. It's like, I gotta show this to you. Let me just reach in and get one. It's gonna make a mess all over my fucking desk. Ugh.
It sounds pretty hardcore.
Not cream. Oh yeah. Just got a fucking crumb in there. It is not a cream. It is some weird, not that I expected it to actually be a cream, but do not buy is my recommendation for you for that.
Yeah.
I probably give it like,
that's like a 1 or 3 or what?
Like 3. It was, I mean, sweet. And after my ass being on a detox for 3 weeks, I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, my pleasure receptors are like, fuck yeah, but like my tongue is actually like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, and you know what? If you could give it a 3 after a 3-week detox, I mean, that's pretty that could be lower in the normal sense. So
probably could. So I don't know. If you guys want me to try the other ones, let me know in the comments. But Trix, it was not a go for me. So
dang you, Trix. Dang you, Trix.
And you know what really pisses me off is that they only sell this shit in the family size. So now I got a fucking family size that I'll just probably drop off at Moore's again.
Yeah, just drop that off somewhere, you know? Be like, hey, here you go. Here's a little, how many sugars in there? We didn't even say the sugar. Oh. I always like to know the sugar.
Let me see. Baby total sugars, 12 grams. Which
12 sugar, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Out of 32. That's 12 included sugars or whatever. Anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, all right. So that's a 3. Yeah. I seriously think we need to start getting some less desserty items in this mix. I want to see, some ratings on some weird shit, but I know you projected that in the past. However, if any of the audience thinks that CaiLEAN should eat some weird shit occasionally too and the macros worth it, let me know. Let us know and we'll make it happen.
I mean, I will do whatever the people want me to do. However, It's like, I feel like nothing weird will be worth the macros. It's like, at least desserts, you see that.
Necessarily weird. I'm not saying like alligator tail or something, which probably isn't even that weird to some people. So if you eat that, sorry, I just haven't eaten it. But
you offended a whole population here.
I might have. But I'm talking about, I think we need to branch into some, fast food items. Things that are out there. Like
Hot
Starbucks
Ones,
drinks and...
Hot Ones created Hot Pockets that I thought about testing out.
See, that's good. That's something like that. No, I haven't seen that. I've never even been in the freezer aisle. But
no, the thing is actually the reason why I haven't done it is because not all the flavors are available at the store. It's like you have to use GoPuff to get them because it's like they affiliated with GoPuff or whatever. So I'm like, in fact, I did set up the app. I just never actually ended up doing it. So maybe we'll see that next week and you'll see me die of spiciness.
Also, I heard from somebody recently that apparently Gordon Ramsay has started making frozen items now that you can heat up and eat, which everybody knows Gordon Ramsay, right? I mean, I don't know if that's you know what I mean? Like, we should branch. I don't know. If you people think we should branch these different, I mean, granted, I do none of this, so it's really up to you and CaiLEAN what you people decide, but
I mean, I'll do it.
Cool to mix it up a bit, get a couple I think CaiLEAN, part of always picking the treats is she just wants the damn treats, but
I mean, the cereal, I won't lie. I fucking love cereal, man. I love trying it all out. You'll see a trend. It's a lot of cereal.
It's always, it does seem to be. We should count how many cereals it's been, but
it's been a lot.
It's definitely been some cereal.
Cereal and ice cream dominating.
And then, all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. But for now, okay. So should we get to the meat and potatoes?
Oh my gosh, Jinx! You can't talk the rest of the time. Just kidding.
Did you say that at the same time? For real?
I did, and I jinxed you. Why are you still talking?
Just kidding. It's just me silent the rest of the podcast. I'll just clock out. See you later, people. Man.
That's what happens when you have an 8-year-old is that you always have to be on Jinx hiatus or high alert. So Ryan. Okay, you can talk again. So, okay.
I don't know these rules.
Oh my gosh. You will learn them one day. Let me tell you, you will learn them. Yeah. They've got new rules. I won't go into it. We're dicking around enough, but we'll talk about Jinx rules later. Okay.
We do that well.
That was probably loud. Sorry, friends. Okay. Let's not get sick at the gym. Here is number 1. This one seems pretty obvious, but it's do not put your hands on your eyes, nose, or mouth without cleaning first, which seems really obvious, but you would be surprised how much, like, we never pay attention how much we touch our face throughout a day. I think it wasn't until the pandemic that I actually started paying attention to that shit. And I'd be like, rubbing my nose and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die of whatever is going around, but like that made me more aware. And honestly, your skin, like, these germs are going to try to get into whatever orifices are most easily accessible, which at the gym is more likely going to be the eyes, nose, mouth. So we're not usually touching our mouth a lot, but I've seen people touching their nose, their eyes, and those are two huge, places that we can get the germs in. So if you do have something in your eyeball, go wash your hands real quick. I wouldn't recommend hand sanitizer at that point, because if you're touching your eyes, it's going to really fucking burn. But take a couple seconds, go to the gym, wash your hands, get whatever the hell is in your eyeball out of there, and then, move on to your day and keep lifting.
Yeah, I think it also, people actually are probably more prone to touching the face, eyes, nose, mouth in the gym. Because, you start sweating, and then sweat is fucking annoying. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows this. Sweat, starts getting down and into your brow. And then you're like, oh, man, it's about to hit you right in the cornea. And then you got to get up there, But if your hands are dirty, that's game over. That could be. Oof. And you know what? You got to remember this, too. If you're like, well, no, I don't think it matters. My hands are clean enough. All these people around you, they ain't necessarily got clean hands, okay? First hit, it's funny. I think we talked about this on the podcast, maybe. I don't know. I've talked about this with somebody before, but, I've always heard, that women's bathrooms at gyms are much, nicer and cleaner and, whatever. The dudes' bathrooms at gyms are fucking cesspools. So all you ladies listening, if you have not been why would you have been in a men's bathroom at the gym?
Maybe they worked there and had to clean it.
Yeah, well, what's funny is I used to work at gyms, and the girls that worked at the gym always refused to even clean the dude's bathroom because it was so damn disgusting. It is. You go in there and some dude pissed on the floor. It's fucking, and 90% of the time nobody's washing their hands in this place. So just remember that,
I'm just thinking
barbells.
All the pre-workout shits that are had in those bathrooms.
Yeah, not even that. Pre-workout shits, over-protein shits, non-hand washing shits, fucking, and anytime you go in there, it's just chaos. It's like, whoa, this is literally a cesspool. And those are the same people using the dumbbells you're using, people, okay? So, if you're one of those guys, by the way, listening, wash your damn hands. Come on now. Just get it. Didn't your mom teach you something? But either way, even if you think you got clean hands, it's okay to think that. Maybe you do. Maybe you are good at your shit. Doesn't mean everybody else is. And there's a lot of turnover, I've watched before. Because sometimes when I'll do a set of something, when I go in and do, let's say I'm doing bench or something, I'll be on a bench for 40 minutes just benching.
You're that
getting
asshole.
Up to the right way. Yeah. No, I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Come up to me. Ask if you want it. Go ahead. Nobody asks. But the point is, I've seen people, you'll see turnover on equipment. If I have something next, I'll be keeping an eye on what's coming up. Oh, I got to go over here next to the fucking fly dumbbells or whatever. You will see the dumbbells you need. By the time that I'm sitting on this bench, there could be 12 people that use that dumbbell. You know what I mean? It could be more than that. And I rarely ever see anybody clean the dumbbells, right? And if you think the gym staff is doing this, I don't know what the hell kind of gym, you got a great, somebody give that person a raise. If you see that guy walking around. It's pretty rare.
Planet Fitness is the only gym I've seen people consistently clean, but that's because it's empty as shit most of the time, I feel like.
Right, they gotta have something to do. Yeah, I've obviously worked in gyms. You've worked in gyms, but kind of in a different way. You didn't work front desk at gyms. I did. And I was pretty much one of the only people that would actually clean it, except for a few other guys, because you get bored. You get bored, especially if you're on the morning shift. You wake up at 4, go do that shit, you're cleaning stuff. But it is not common. I don't see it a lot. And you definitely don't see it enough for how much, this stuff could be turning over. And when it's sick season, I got sick for 2 weeks, okay? You kind of got sick a few times, but you dodged it somehow, probably with these tips. But
It is. It is.
You know,
I'm sharing my sorcery with you guys.
That's why you're the macro queen and I'm over here sick for 2 weeks. But anyway, all right.
Or it's just the man flu. Just kidding.
Yes, exactly, right? We're the same sick, but I just gave in and
well, you and Brad both. Brad's like, oh, dead. And I'm just like, I think my body's trying to get sick, but I'm just not going to let it. Oh, that should be one, not willing your body.
Pay attention.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you might throw that in at 6 or something, but yeah, this next one.
And 7. So, but let's go to 2, which is another, I promise these get better. This one's another more self-explanatory, but if someone is hacking up a lung, don't take the treadmill next to them. You know, it's common sense. There might be some equipment that like, maybe that person's just like fucking destroying all over. That's when you have to be smart and think like, okay, well, whatever is in these spray bottles kill what this person has just like projectile coughed all over. Or do I need to use my common sense and maybe either ask my coach for a sub or maybe think about, okay, what muscle group am I working? What can I sub out? And just like write a little note to your coach after. And we will understand if you're like, dude, somebody was like vomiting all over the reverse fly machine. I just did seated reverse fly. And I'd be like, cool, thank you for not getting sick, you know?
Yeah, vomiting. Have you ever seen anybody vomit in a gym?
I think in a group fitness class here or there, somebody did.
Man.
Yeah.
It is the worst. It is the worst thing that could happen.
That happens frequently?
I've only seen it like twice, and I left the building. I was like, I can't be here anymore. This is so foul. See? So I just left. I was like, fuck it, another day. I'll do this exercise, this workout another day. I can't even. You know, it's like because most gyms don't have the best air circulation, so it's just like you're sitting there and it's all of a sudden this vomit musk in the air, like just sitting in there, hanging heavy. You're like, why would somebody even come here if they were at the point they could do that? You know, because it's probably not vomiting from overexertion. I mean, that can happen. Maybe that's what happened in your instance in the group classes, but a lot of the times it's like somebody who's they've just gone too far over the cliff of sickness and they're somehow at the gym, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's crazy too. All you people wearing headphones in the gym, which is probably 99%. You probably listen to this in the gym even, but you ain't even going to hear the hackers next to you, right? You ain't going to hear them. Because I'll tell you what, when I got sick, because this is like the first time I had been seriously sick in like 5-6 years. I felt like so sick these past 2 sicknesses I got back to back last month. And I would go like to the store after I was better, and I swear to you, if you listen, it is like, where the fuck am I at? What is happening here? Everyone is sick. I was like, why is everybody sick? And you just hear, it's like, what is going on around here? And so then I'm like, high alert. Damn, you ain't hearing that in the gym though, because you got these headphones and all that, right? So
that's a very valid point.
It's safe they say that, you know, the whole classic thing is like, oh, healthy people go to the gym. It's there's not sicknesses that spread there. I'll tell you what, one of the only places I fucking go is the gym, and I got sick. So, you know, I'm telling you what, that ain't true. I don't believe that at all. I think people believe that, and they probably make worse choices in the gym with how much they care about their hygiene, etc., right, that gets them sick. So, yeah, I mean, that one is another given, but it's really not a given because you haven't been paying attention. I know you haven't.
Yep,
but what do I do? I mean, this is number 3 here, but what do we do if you start feeling sick, CaiLEAN? What's the game plan there?
So number 3 is to stay at home if you feel yourself coming on with something, you know, and with our coaching, with our app, most people are 4 to 5 days a week. Sometimes I have competitors who are close to their shows at 6 days a week. More than likely, you can rearrange your week to accommodate, you know, hey, let's just, you know, give the body a rest for a little bit, because not only are you protecting everybody else, but you could do more harm than good if you go to the gym when you're just starting to feel shitty, like just that little tickle in the throat. Because we have to remember, going to the gym and working out is stress on the body. And I think sometimes we forget about it that in that sense. So if your body's already in a vulnerable state, you fucking crush your workout, and now it's like in a super vulnerable state. You probably picked up some more shit along the way at the gym, and now you are that client of mine who is 3 weeks, sick because they didn't quite listen to their body. And I really think that everybody is a little bit different, and it's kind of like a bit of trial and error, I feel like, because I have definitely, well, and of course, I guess now that I'm saying this out loud, before I knew I had COVID, I worked out at home. I was feeling like a little bit sick, and this was way back. And I was like, oh, I'll just, do a workout. I'll do it at home. I'm not feeling great. And then it like went into like full-fledged COVID, and I never got it really bad, but like after I was like, or even during the workout, I had like the worst headache of my life. And I'm just like, this is fine. I'll just keep going. And then it was like, oh, no, okay. I got COVID, and I probably, shouldn't have worked out. But here we are, because sometimes we are meatheads. If you're listening to this, chances are you are a little bit of a meathead. And we just love working out so much. But sometimes we need to respect our body enough to say, you know what? I'm going to take a couple days, see if this passes, just scoot my workouts down a couple days. And I think that will be a whole lot better for me in the long run. And chances are it will be. Are you there? Did I lose you, Ryan?
I lost you for a sec. You there? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm like,
your internet is going, CaiLEAN. It's okay.
What? I had no freezing. But anyway, yeah.
You're back.
Okay.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So, well, the thing is with this too is like you said, respect your body, right? Well, even if you don't respect your body, respect other people's. God damn it! Seriously, like you go there, you get other people sick. You don't know. I mean, here's the thing with all these sicknesses too. They affect people differently for sure, right? Not everybody gets the exact same symptoms. Some people get it on a worse level. Maybe they have pre-existing health condition. A lot of people, remember, at the gym are not necessarily healthy people, right? Mm-hmm. There's sometimes people that are not healthy at all, and maybe on the path to dying from some type of thing, from being out of shape, overweight, whatever. And they're there to try to get improved, get better, and progress. So you get other people sick, and it's like, you don't even know what it does, the ripple effect. And, like we keep bringing up COVID shit. I mean, I think that opened a lot of people's eyes, but COVID is not the only damn thing out there, people. There's a lot of other sicknesses, viruses, diseases, shit that kill people just as bad, as any of these other ones that come up, these pandemics, whatever. So you got to keep that in mind. It's all a variable there. And, the thing is, too, I've never seen in my career, I've trained so many people, and everybody gets sick eventually. It's just the way the world works. But I've never seen anybody get benefited from working out while they're sick. I've never seen it. It doesn't really do anything. It may in your head make you think like, oh yeah, this is good. But if you're actually sick, there's not really going to be a benefit. I mean, mentally, maybe that's the only benefit you'll get. If you're one of those people that like, I have to do something, otherwise I go crazy. Well, okay, you might get a mental benefit then, but you could also just go take a damn walk or do something simple, right? Because like when you're training with weights, especially at the intensity most people would need to actually get results, that's just going to deter your body. That's like taking away from your body's ability to recover, takes your immune system down, like you said, and prolongs it. And here's what ends up happening, right? People will skip. People will drop, they'll be like, oh, no, I'm sick, but I have to go to the gym because I don't want to miss my leg day. And what happens is you go to the gym, you get 10 times more sick because you did the leg day, and now you miss the whole next week, right? So, and the same thing comes if you go back too early, like if you're not all the way recovered. Let's say you take a couple days off, but you're not all the way recovered. You go back to the gym, you can actually relapse, is what I call it, relapse back into your sickness. I've done it a dozen times in my life.
Literally, so many of my clients have been doing that lately, and I've been telling every single one of them, I'm like, when you go back, take it easy. Like, do not kill it, because you're just going to get right back. And, I try. And sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. But I think more and more people are listening these days. So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's really important to remember that, like, let's say you get sick for even a week, something like that, you got to miss the gym for a week. That's realistically not going to derail your progress. Like, just missing the gym for a week, it's not going to do anything, especially if you're sick. And, like, that's the only option. Your body literally needs to recover. What you actually end up doing a lot of time when you train, under the weather or sick is you're not going to get any type of good result from that. You're going to probably even, you could be taking yourself down, go a little bit catabolic. You're trying to build muscle, you start actually taking it off because your body's like, whoa, this is crazy, survival mode. Don't be doing it. So, taking a week off. Everybody's had to take time off the gym. CaiLEAN, you've had some stints where you had to take time off the gym, maybe not from being sick, but, different things in your life. And has it detracted from, your results overall, would you say, Amber?
No, if anything, learning to take rest days has been the best thing that I've ever learned to do. And actually taking deloads. Like, were you so shocked this past mesocycle where I'm like, hey, Ryan, I'm going to take a deload week. Did you die?
I was. That's the first time you've ever done it. But
yeah, I was like, I'm going to take a deload week. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, is this the same person? Did you log into the wrong account or something? Because, whew, it was. So
that's exactly
difference.
what I'm talking about. It makes a huge difference, right? Better for progress. And realistically, what I always say to people, too, is you either... Because deload weeks, I'm going to branch off for a sec. Fuck it. Let's go to deload weeks.
Let's go.
Nobody does that stuff. It's very hard for me to convince people. Actually, at this point in my coaching career, it's gotten a lot easier to tell people to just take a break and then listen. I don't know why. Maybe after fucking 12 years of this shit, I finally got a little bit of credit there. But, it has been impossible to get people to do that. And, what happens is, I always say this to people, hey, you either take the break, before you need it, right? I like people to be ahead of it. I want people to get on a break at the end of maybe, let's say a 12-week cycle or something like that of training where we want to take a break week, whatever, to stay ahead of injuries, attacking the immune system, getting sick, and also that. And I always tell people, hey, here's what happens. You either take it or you don't, because I always give people the option, because I don't want to say, oh, yeah, you have to, and now you pissed off at me because you can't go to your spots, right? But if you don't take it, your body eventually makes you take it. That's what happens. I literally believe that, no matter what. So if you skip it at the 12-week thing, you're like, no, I'm not going to take a rest week. Well, you're the person that does get sick and is out on your ass eventually for a week, or you're the person that tweaks your back and you're out on your ass for a week, or you're the person that gets a shoulder issue. So this rest stuff, even though this is totally off this number 3 out of your shit, rest and training have to be in this kind of harmony to get the best results. Everybody thinks the more time in the gym is more results. It's not. It's literally more time in the gym spent well with more time outside of the gym spent well lead to the best results. So if you get sick, you can pretty much assume you're never going to get the best result anyway. It's probably better to just rest.
Yeah, I need to do a comparison shot from when I was doing teaching group fitness and lifting and working out 7 days a week and what my bikini physique looked like versus now when I actually only work out 5 days a week. It's insane. Yeah. So please just listen to us. I really need to.
Eye openers, people. Eye open.
Yes. I'm going to make myself a note. Picture. Okay, I'm probably going to forget what that means later, but that's okay. All right. That's my life, man. At first, I have to translate it. What the hell did I even write? And then second, it's well, what did that even mean? Okay. Number 4 is so fucking important. And it's not just today or this month. It's just every single goddamn second of your life, please.
Yeah.
And actually, you actually typed this wrong on the notes I'm just seeing.
Wrong. Yeah, I know you wrote it wrong. I was going to say, damn, that's the opposite. But I was going to let you see if you fell on that chat first.
That's wrong. Breathe through your goddamn nose, not your mouth. I just put breathe through your goddamn mouth on the email. This is our chatting. But yes, no. That's the opposite of what you want to do. So there are so many reasons nasal breathing is important. But specifically for avoiding getting sick, let's talk about the kinetics of things, of how people get sick. So you've got those fucking flu viruses, particles all around, right?
Yep.
It's going to get in your space. People are coughing, whatever. If you're breathing through your mouth, it just goes straight into your body. There is no filter. When you breathe through your nose, you've got all those little nose hairs that filter particulate matter, especially virus type things, before they get into your lungs. And it has a little bit longer of a path too, and then it goes into the lungs. And because it's a warmer atmosphere, it actually can kill the viruses before it even gets into your bloodstream. So, but when we're at the gym, I know, I see all you motherfuckers. You're like, like in between sets. And I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are all going to get sick. And you probably do. Literally. And I do not want to jinx myself. You know, I'm a big person about saying things, but like breathing through my nose has changed my life in as far as allergies. Like I do not get seasonal allergies anymore ever since I started breathing through my nose, because I was a huge mouth breather. I tape my mouth shut at night, which I think helps a lot too. But literally it could be the biggest change in your life. So, and I know lifting while keeping your mouth shut is very hard because we're going for exertion. So my little tip or trick, if you want to practice keeping your mouth shut and only breathing through your nose, take a sip of water, keep it in your mouth while you're lifting, because if you open your mouth while you're training, you're going to spill it all over yourself and look like an idiot. So that's my little trick. Try it, whatever you're doing, your workout that's exhausting you. Even if it's cardio, man, there have been so many studies about like runners who switch from mouth breathing to nose breathing and how much better they do. Yeah. Like if you can train yourself to breathe through your nose, you will be in such a better position for your entire life.
Yeah. I mean, it's far beyond just not getting sick. It's huge benefits all across the board. And, you'll find it's very difficult for most people to do that, which is actually crazy to say, but a lot of mouth breathing stuff. Maybe we could do an episode of, write this down, CaiLEAN, episode on breathing. Okay, even though that's everybody listens.
People be like, "What the fuck?
That. We don't want that. This is the macro podcast." Breathe. Well, we'll tell you some shit that'll up your results. Because I mean, hey people, if you already got the training and the nutrition down, there's a whole next level of things to optimize that you probably don't even know about and don't pay attention to, that will enhance your results across the board. So
teamflex.com/elite health for a little bit more about that. Yeah,
that's one of them for sure. Yeah. But breathing, we could bring that in there. And then,
that's a whole episode.
But it's just its own beast. I can't even go too deep with this right now. But yeah, it's definitely going to help you not get sick. You want to make sure that you can really do that in any capacity. And for those of you that are doing like these type of workouts, some types of workouts, make it harder than others, but still, you don't need to be always in that one spot of just, mouth breathing 24/7 and dealing with that. You're prone to a lot more bullshit like that, I think, so.
Yes.
Let's throw one at the people, since that was like the shortest piece in the world. What other benefit, aside from not getting sick, do people get from breathing through their nose?
So
just one. Just pick a random.
Literally, it changes the shape of your face. People who breathe through their mouth. I was going to say that one too. Yeah. Wow, we're so synced up today. God damn it. So
yeah.
But no, you can see, like, if you go on the internet and search like mouth breather versus nose breather, you will see the mouth breather, the chin is like so much more recessed, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a huge thing. Like, and I can see it now and I can't unsee it. So, and you can change the shape of your face by just simply switching to nasal breathing.
Yeah. I think I saw something about that originally from like some type of plastic surgeon or something, a long time ago, because they look at stuff like that before they do plastic surgeries and things to see if what they do is gonna not
even
reflect
stick
them, positively when they give you a plastic surgery on your face. So it's pretty interesting shit, and it does change the actual structure of your face. You should look at those pictures. Google it right now. You're listening. I don't care where you're at. You know what? Do it right now. Pull the car over. Take a Google look at it. You'll get an idea, because it's definitely very dramatic once you actually know what that looks like. And, changing the shape of your face is probably not something you want to do without knowing about it. So, just another way to do it. But, okay.
And that can affect the teeth, too. Sorry.
Yeah, teeth. We'll leave this for the next time we ever talk about that.
That was such a teaser.
Yeah, I think the obvious when people are probably like, okay, we made it through 4 things and you haven't even talked about any supplements. I think that, that's obviously where we head next. So, CaiLEAN, what supplements do you suggest or think are beneficial to people? What is it, just for overall health and wellness? Or are you saying specifically when people start to get sick, take this?
Well, there are a few that I take every single day of my goddamn life because I don't want to be sick. Like, I don't have time for that shit. So every single day of my life, I take magnesium. I take a a fair amount of magnesium too. And I take zinc every single night. And ever since I've done that, I'm not going to finish that sentence because I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious here. But yeah. Life has been good. That and nasal breathing, I think, are two things. And it's funny because we actually, was it 2 years ago we went on a cruise and I had run out of my zinc on the cruise. And like, I was just like, it's fine. Got COVID on the way home. Like, it was like immediately, like the second I stopped taking it, it's like my body's like, hey, let's get sick. So
hey, let's get it.
I literally never run out of those. And like, obviously I don't like spending a whole bunch of money on supplements, but like, I have done it enough there that it's like the second I run out, or even if like Brad stops taking his supplements, like when he got sick, I'm like, hey, have you been taking blah, blah, blah? And he's like, no, I probably should have. And I'm like, yeah, you should have, because now you're sick. So I take magnesium. I take 1 in the morning and I take 2 before bed. It does also help not only with the immune system, but it helps you get sleep. It helps your muscles recover. So I'm a huge advocate of magnesium. Zinc, I take with dinner. And I just take 1 of those. Vitamin C is a huge one too. Of course, a lot of, immunity help with that. I didn't put this one in there. I have to also. I mean, there's a ton of shit I take. Let's be real. The one thing about vitamin C that I put in there is you have to be careful taking vitamin C around your lifts because it can also, kind of interrupt your gains making because it is so anti-inflammatory as well. So like, obviously when you lift, you have a lot of inflammation and you want that inflammation because that will force your body to create bigger muscle tissue by, overcoming and adapting to the stimulus that you put on it. So I would, maybe do your vitamin C a bit away from when you're lifting. And that's that. Vitamin D levels, of course, if you can get those checked, make sure they're optimal. All these things. And like, of course, we can run tests to see how you're absorbing some of these vitamins. The Candida metabolism and vitamins test that I run has 72 different health markers. And like there are whole sections about vitamins. And that's been really cool to see for my different athletes to see how they are absorbing, or, some of them that are on mega doses of vitamins, they're off the charts on some of these. And it's like, okay, well, you could probably tone it down on a few of those, but yeah, because it's really cool to be able to see that. And even, we see specifically, especially with the B vitamins, it breaks them down to all the different levels of B and which ones you're actually absorbing and which ones. But I'm getting off course. Those 4, I'd say even vitamin D, throw that in there. But make sure you get good fucking sources of them too. Like, don't just get the Walmart special because you'll probably get sick from that, because most of these things only have small amounts of the vitamins. I understand cost can be sometimes a concern. If you can get functional medicine vitamins, that's the best in my opinion, because they're actually going to have what they say, and they have different methylated versions of these different vitamins that will help it absorb better. If anybody has any questions, you can always ask me, but that's what I have to say about that. Of course, whoa, I almost dropped my microphone. Make sure they're from a quality source, third-party tested, free from heavy metals and bullshittery.
Yeah, and the thing with all vitamins too, right, is like, it's got to be bioavailable for you people, so you might be better off just doing some testing. But also, in my opinion, supplements, they are to supplement. So you definitely need to know the quality of your diet too is a huge factor. I mean, we didn't really talk too much about that, but we have anything else you want to add as the next thing on the list here. So maybe we'll just talk about other things too. But
literally
vitamins and stuff like that, supplements do play a role, people, but they are very, very, very much like secondary, third, fourth, fifth to actually getting the right type of nutrition and everything else you would need to, actually be healthy, in my opinion. Like you can supplement it in there sometimes, but a lot of times too, a lot of supplements out there, like CaiLEAN was just saying, they're not even bioavailable, like in your gut. So you'll go buy a supplement at Walmart or anywhere, fucking GNC, all these places. You come back with, oh, cool, I got my magnesium, zinc, all this shit. Depending how it was sourced, how it was done, whatever, everything is going to depend how your body can absorb it. And a lot of times you don't. Like most multivitamins, you don't actually really absorb any vitamins from. And that's important to note that, especially too with food, right? A lot of people do this with food where they see the food labels, MyFitnessPal's pretty much like a main criminal for doing this type of stuff. But like, you know, like you can scan that Trix box that you just had, and it probably says it's fortified with all these vitamins and all this bullshit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere on it. And then, I mean, if it doesn't, other cereal does that, you know, it'll be like, oh, it contains all these vitamins, it contains this and that. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that people are getting a substantial dose of actual bioavailable vitamins from that, right? Like, does it say that?
With 12 vitamins and minerals. It's a good source of calcium.
So you see that, and then you're like, oh, that's good. I'm good, you know? But no. Probably not going to be good because, again, you know, just throwing vitamins in your body doesn't actually do really anything. It's actually pretty complicated to get vitamins even to absorb and stuff like that. So we can't go into all. Maybe that's another episode. Let's do that.
I've got like 3 that have just spun off of this. So yes, bioavailability.
Let's write another one down. You know, talking about supplements and their absorption, and you know how to pick your supplements and where to get them. Because every single day, I'll be honest, I log into Instagram to like go and post something, and I'm literally horrified, like a lot of the time, of how many people are promoting and pushing these crazy products. And I'm like, where did this come from? And then I click it and I go to it, and it's like some page that has like 5,000 followers, and like they're probably making these supplements in their basement, and you know, they're giving them to athletes and making affiliates. And I'm like, what you don't even know what's in there or what's actually happening. I mean, I think we've talked about it before, but literally, CaiLEAN, have you seen the documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster?
No, but I need to. I'm going to put that on the watch list.
You cannot work here anymore if you do not watch that this week, okay?
I am literally putting that on my list. Bigger, Stronger, Faster.
I think it's on Netflix, okay? It's Chris Bell. It's about steroids. So if you're into that kind of stuff, people, which pretty much everyone is, pretty hilarious to watch, you know, how the world has focused on steroids and what, you know, athletes get away with and whatnot and whatever. But it also talks about the supplement industry, and they start like a supplement company in that documentary, and they literally make these stuff and they sell them, and FDA allows it and it does it. And, you know, they're making them like out of a bathtub or something like that just to prove the point. So, you know, that stuff is not crazy. That was a long time ago too. This is more rampant than ever. People can buy whatever, you know, like me and CaiLEAN get products for Team Flex from all kinds of, you know, like we want to make a backpack or something. We can get a backpack from 1,000 places and put a logo on it, you guys, right? Like, so, you know, people do this with supplements. You don't know what you're getting a lot of times, especially with white labeling and everything else. So,
yeah. And especially these people that have the millions of followers that are promoting it, they are probably not even taking these supplements, and they're just getting a lot of money from them. And because people look for these micro or macro influencers to hawk their product. And that's why I Scout's honor promise you that anything I promote on my Instagram, I've tried it, I've liked it, you know, and because every single day I get like 5 to 10 requests to promote X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, fuck you guys. No, like I'm only going to promote what things that I've tested and I approve. And I know you're the same way as well. So that's something you will always get from us at Team Flex. We'll never hawk you shit. But going back to the nutrition part, I actually wanted to tack that on at the end of, you know, taking your rest day. Like if you feel like you're getting sick. So a lot of people, if they do go to take their rest, they just go into a full fuck it mode of like, oh, well, I can't go to the gym, so I might as well eat 12 cup of noodles because I feel sick, you know? And what is like the cup of noodles? It's like straight garbage there. Yeah. But that is when you really need to take the time and focus on your nutrition, because not only are you not working out, and you should at least check your nutrition boxes, but your body needs those fucking nutrients instead of whatever garbage. Like the whole thought of comfort food really pisses me off when you're sick, because it's like your body doesn't need comfort. It needs fucking vegetables and shit. Like, please do make some chicken, turkey. And I get the appetite is sometimes not there. Bone broth can be really good when the appetite's not there. Just get like a nice organic box of bone broth, heat it up, sip it down. At least you're getting some vital nutrients there. Just, I mean, really think about what you're putting in your body when it's in this sick and vulnerable state, and don't just stuff it with garbage.
Yeah, you know, one of the most interesting things, too, is the time of year people get the most sick is also the time that they're eating the most bullshit. Right? People always get sick the end of the holidays and into the new year and so on, right? That's They always say, oh, it's winter. Everybody, the germs are around more. That's not really true. If you actually look at how any of that science works with germs, they're always fucking around. They don't go away. It doesn't spike in the winter randomly because of fucking snowflake. Like, it's always there. In my opinion, people get less healthy in the winter, with the holidays and the shit they eat and the Christmas cookies everywhere for 3 months and, whatever. And they start to kind of fall off their stuff. And that's what leads to it. And then they kind of do the opposite effect in, January, where they haven't been working out and they try to go work out and they go too hard. And that also puts you in another spot where you could get sick easily. If you tax your body too much, you'd get immune down. So it's definitely very interesting to think about the fact that, that's when people get the most sick is when they start fucking off their nutrition. And you know what? On that note, too, I'll just add another one. We're at 7. I don't even know where we're at. We're just going. If you guys like the show, make sure you subscribe, follow, and comment. Let us know because me and CaiLEAN, we won't cancel it then. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But, fasting also. We should throw that in here. That is another really good thing to do, in my opinion. CaiLEAN's talking about getting the right nutrition. Absolutely, yes, awesome. If you get sick, to the point where you don't want to eat or you don't have, appetite, whatever, you can also fast, and that's a pretty good option. Fasting, if you especially get into the longer term of it, not fasting for 4 hours, if you get into a little bit longer, something like that, what happens is your body will start to take all that extra energy and that time not spent digesting and say, all right, let's fix some shit. Let's kind of purge these sick cells. Let's figure it out, and that can be really beneficial too. So there's a lot of options, with just your nutrition and even supplements and everything else that if you've already gotten sick or you're really trying to avoid getting sick, it's easy to do that. Like you can do a few things. Oh, let me eat a little bit better. Oh, maybe I'll just fast for today for 16 hours or something. And, these things will help you get better, improve everything, and also keep you healthier overall, which I think would be the number one goal, right? If you're the healthiest you can be all the time, getting sleep, drinking your water, getting your nutrition right, training, you got good cardiovascular fitness, you got all this, you get sick way less anyway, people. That's the end game. So, pay more attention to that too.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect point. There was something I was going to add on to it, but it just, flew away. So, that's all right. I just put fasting episode on our list as well. So if you want to hear an episode about fasting, that could be a whole fucking hour too, dude.
Fasting might need to be 4 episodes or something, but
all the different types of fasting,
a fasting
1 hour each.
Series.
Seriously. And like I said, I've said this a million times. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I would have not eaten for 2 days multiple times, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. But
yes, CaiLEAN used to tell me, just fun fact for all you guys out here, I've been fasting for a long time. And CaiLEAN used to tell me I was fucking bananas when I would tell her about it. She was not in any way taking the thought of fasting being possible. And now she does it. So, it's good. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. Fasting, I love fasting.
Yeah. So if you're I say that because if you're listening to this right now and be like, there ain't no way in hell I'm not eating.
Most people. Yeah, that's why I said that. Not to out CaiLEAN, but to make it more relatable for the people.
Seriously. And that's what I want to say. I feel like everything is like a stair step with health and fitness. And I am at that place where we talked about the optimizations. Where can we optimize? And so I think we should definitely do an episode of fasting, but I just don't want listeners to be like, there's no way I'm listening to that. There's a lot of really fucking interesting shit about fasting that I would love to share with you guys.
Yeah. And a ton of ways to implement it that are not so crazy. You don't have to do a 5-day fast to fast. That's not the thing. And here's the other really interesting thing. If you hear the word fasting and you panic, that's a fucking tell sign that you really need to figure this shit out. You should not be so food focused and food addicted that you cannot go a couple hours without eating and think that that's an impossible thing. Okay? Because if I airdropped you to the Amazon jungle right now, you'd be dead in 4 hours, and that ain't gonna work, people. All right? Which means it's not optimal.
Yeah. And that is not just for lifestyle, but I tell you right now, fasting has been the biggest hack to competing because when you're competing, you have hungry phases, but it's when you're fasting, you find out what true fucking hunger is. And you realize that all of the competition prep, that wasn't real hunger. You're fine. No.
No.
So, okay. We'll save this all for the fasting episode. Tune
We
in for
will.
that when that airs. Don't just skip it because you're scared of fasting. All right. I think we've covered it all.
I think we made it. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. So, yeah, people, make sure you sub, make sure you're following. Let us know if you're liking what we're doing so that we don't cry ourselves to sleep at night wondering if you thought this episode was good or not. I don't know if you do that. I do that every day, CaiLEAN. But anyway.
I am the biggest empath. Like, I care so much about what people think about me, even though I try to admit that I don't.
So, yeah, let us know, people, what you think. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yes, tune in next time. Bye.